Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Jay the One-Eyed Gamer. Today's video is going to be about, not Dynasty Warriors, I know you're all surprised by that, but no, today it's going to be about one of my personal favorite games that came out this year so far. The two of them, Utawarerumono, Mask of Deception, and Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth, and I've been enjoying them immensely, and actually Mask of Deception was one of the first two videos I put up. I think the first video I ever put up was a action chain and finishers for all the playable characters in Mask of Deception. And the next episode I put up was an actual quick look at the actual game itself. You could say it helped start my channel. What I want to talk to you now is to let you guys know that over the past couple days, because it took me a while to get able to sit down and make the video, I apologize for that. A couple days ago last week, we got news that Aquabilis, the people who make Utawarerumono, have stated that they are going to remake the first game ever and bring it to the PlayStation 4 and Vita, which I think is amazing, because if you guys don't know, Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth are the last two parts of a trilogy, and the first game never came over to the West officially. You can find it on ROMs and fans translations, because I have seen that on the internet, but there has been no official release outside of the anime that I think we got in 2006, I think is when the anime happened. I could be wrong, but that's how I was introduced to the series for the very first time. I remember finding it on one of my anime sites with dubbing, and I watched the whole thing with dubbing, which wasn't bad actually. I would highly recommend if you want to watch it. It's good to watch in dub and sub, but I watched the whole thing in dub and I was intrigued from beginning to end. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't know what this thing was. I didn't know it was a game at the time. I thought it was just an anime that just randomly came over from Japan, you know, that was based on a manga or a light visual novel, and lo and behold, it was based on a visual novel, a game that actually happened in Japan, I think in the early thousands. It was on the PC first, and then it eventually got ported to the PlayStation 2. Both times, you know, it only came over to Japan. I think it was also ported to the PSP, but all those instances was only in Japan. We in the West didn't know anything about it until we got the second season of the anime, which was based on the second game, Mask of Deception, that came over on our streaming sites, and I think that generated some interest for people, or a lot more people, and it got me interested too. I really enjoyed Haku's Tale, but this one starts off before Mask of Deception, so literally all the characters you saw at Tuscaru, those kick-ass characters, this is their tale about how they made Tuscaru and how everything literally sets up for Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth. With it being a remake, they are remaking the battle aspect, not the actual visual novel aspect. The visual novel aspect is getting an up-res, so all the original art that was in the games, which do look beautiful by the way, even without being up-res, are being up-res to HD quality. And I know some people aren't happy with that, but I personally think it's okay. It's just a remake, and you already have these beautiful drawings and assets, so why not just use them and just upscale them? As for the actual simulation battle, like the RPG part of it, it has gotten a massive overhaul, and that is where the real remake is. Because you see, in the beginning, the first one, it was 3D, but it was 2D. Sorry, it was 2D sprites. No, it's hard to explain. It wasn't bad. The gameplay wasn't bad, but it wasn't as refined or, you know, as expressive as Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth are, which are running on a full 3D engine. And so this game is actually running on that same 3D engine that Mask of Truth and Mask of Deception were built on, which is amazing because now they're actually adding, I believe, aspects from those two games into this. So the combat and the gameplay sections are going to be more reminiscent of Mask of Truth and Mask of Deception. So for fans who've only played those two games and haven't played the first one or aren't able to get access to the first one, they're able to do this and know that it's kind of like you don't have to relearn everything, because I think the battle system in the first one didn't have Zeal, which you got in the second and the third game, and the visual flair looks awesome. Like, I think this is going to be really good, and personally I enjoyed the anime, so I'm looking forward to the game itself coming out. For you guys that don't know, a brief rundown of the game: the first Utawarerumono takes place in Tuscaru, the kingdom that was invaded by Yamato in the second game. So what happens in there is a guy named Hakuro shows up, has no memory of himself, basically amnesia, and he's rescued by a girl named Ururu, and she's Kone's teacher that you find out in Mask of Truth. She's the one that taught her how to be a herbalist, and she finds Hakuro and brings him back to her village, where he runs into her little sister, Aruru. He starts to bond with them. Something happens that, you know, to take the initiative, because there's also a corrupt emperor that's forcing the people into hard conditions and is actually willing to kill them. So this prompts Hakuro to step up with the villagers and start a rebellion. And that just sparks everything. And that's just a little taste of what the actual story is. But it gets a lot more deep and a lot more crazy as you go on. And if you want to watch the anime, I highly recommend it. But I'm really happy for this. I hope that Atlus is able to translate the game and bring it over stateside same time next year. Not same time release, but maybe hopefully around October, November of next year. Because the game, I believe, is coming out on April 24th in Japan, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think that's when it's coming out. It's either April 24th or April 26th, around that point. It would be cool if Atlus was able to get a hold of the game and translate it, like 5-6 months down the line and have it to us by like maybe late October, early November, or mid-November. I think that'd be awesome, and I really just want this game to come over to the West. Like, I love the world of Utawarerumono. I love how it's set up. I like the people. I like the concept. I'm really glad that they're willing to go back to this and let us explore more of that world. And speaking of that, we also have more information from the guys themselves letting us know that there are in fact either 3 or 4 new Utawarerumono titles in development, which I was like, wow, I didn't think you guys would do that. I thought you'd do like one more if we were lucky. It's very interesting. They're talking about an action game that they're calling, as of right now, UTZ, that they're going to announce more of after this Utawarerumono releases, the remake. So that's interesting. It could be anything. It could be them doing it. I can honestly picture Utawarerumono fitting in like a Dynasty Warriors-esque action game, like, a Musou type game, because some of the characters just do a lot of ridiculous stuff, guys. Like, you don't understand. In the anime, some of the characters are literally like Dynasty Warrior characters. They can mow down like 20 to 30 guys by themselves. There are some stakes because they actually do get tired after a while, but they have the ability to like just sweep the floor with people. And one of the characters, my favorite, Binawe, hopefully I have a picture of him if I can find it, but Binawe, he is essentially like the Zhao Yun of that game. He is a master horseman, a master spearman. He's loyal as hell to Hakuro and to his kingdom. And I think it's just fit well in a Dynasty Warriors-esque thing. Even if Koei doesn't make it, I think it'd be really good to put him in that. If not, I would honestly say maybe in the vein of an action hack and slash like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, I think would do good. And if they could, I'd say ask if Platinum could help, because that would just be an amazing game. Yeah, and then they tell us that if you don't want to get the action game, that's fine. And if you're more of a fan of like, the trilogy of Utawarerumono, the visual novel / RPGs, they're working with the same script writers from Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth and working on, I think, maybe 1 or 2, or they might be making another trilogy of Utawarerumono, which would be nice and I think would be great. I think this is great. I like this underappreciated series. I think it's good because I really wanted to, like I said, explore this world. I enjoyed the concepts. I enjoyed the people in the world. I wanted to explore more because, spoiler, the first Utawarerumono, you're already told the planet you're on is Earth, and it's an Earth after, humanity has pretty much destroyed the planet itself, making it inhospitable to live above the surface. So they make subterranean colonies with the hope that one day they could come back and reclaim the surface. But then they make genetically modified servants and have them go up top and able to survive the environment. And that's what literally the humans of Utawarerumono are now. The people you see with the cattails, the feather ears, all the other things, that's them. I think it's interesting, and since it is Earth, that means that there's not just one continent, it's a big planet. So technically, if this is a new trilogy they're going to work on, they could technically have it not even have anything to do with the original trilogy and have it take place on another continent on Earth and have that story. And who knows, maybe their culture would be different. Maybe theirs would be more European-esque. I'm really happy that this is happening. I felt like this world deserved another look at, I just found it interesting. I enjoyed being in that world, and I don't usually like visual novels because I want gameplay, but the gameplay I got with Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth were really fun. I had a blast, and I know this remake of the first one is going to be a blast too, especially now that they're upgrading it to 3D. And I just hope that Atlus is able to localize that for us, because I think it would do really good in the West again. That's going to do it for me, guys. Hasn't been any Dynasty Warriors news in a while, so hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll get some. If not, I'll keep you up to date on Utawarerumono news as fast as I'm able to, and of course Dynasty War news, and any other games I think you guys might be interested in. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for the subscriptions, and thank you for the comments and the likes. It really means the world to me. Okay, guys, as usual, if you want to leave me a comment, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. I try to get back to you guys as fast as I can. You can also hit me up on my Twitter. That is in the description. I always try to get back to you on that as well if I can. If you're new to the channel and you like the video, video, please hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. No pressure, you don't have to if you don't want to. But if you did like the video and want to be up to date on my videos when they go up, just please click that little bell button and it lets you know when my videos will be going up so you don't have to guess. And yeah, guys, I'm really looking forward to more of this title, more reveals of more Utawarerumono, because like I said, I really like the world. I just want to explore it more, and I think it's going to go good, and it sounds like they're going to use a new graphics engine for all these new games, so that's going to be very interesting. But that's going to do it for me, guys, and I want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and as always, remember, have a good day, and let's rock!